Well, Rickey, it's good to catch up with you. For years, I know fans around baseball, certainly in Kansas City, saw you terrorizing the Royals and other teams. What are you doing nowadays?
Right now, I roam with the Oakland A's. You know, I go through the minor league system, the big league system. We rebuilding, have a lot of young guys, and I pretty much saw them run through the minor league system, now they're in the big league. So I just keep mentoring them on how the game going and going out and try to have a little more fun.
I mean, you can do anything that you want now for the rest of your life. How much do you enjoy this element of still being in baseball?
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, and that's why I probably never wanted to quit baseball, because, you know, my heart and everything is. So I love just being around the game now, you know, especially, you know, giving something back that, you know, all the veteran players that played before my time gave me, for us and helping them, you know, adjust to this game.
You say you never wanted to leave the game, and I look at you now. I saw you out fielding at first base the other day. You're hanging around the batting cage, and in my mind, I feel like you could still go out there and rip off a bag and play. Could you?
I tell them that all the time. If I was out there, I know I can go out there and rip off a few bases, based on because of what I know, you know, and the excitement that I got when I got on the base paths, and I enjoy doing it. So, you know, I think I still go out there and get it.
Such a different game. You and I were talking before we came on camera. Our guys looked up the most stolen bases you had in a month, 33 in July of 1983. Whit Merrifield, who you met the other day with the Royals, led the American League with 34 last year. What's so different about the game now?
The different thing about the game, they still too much control of the game. I think the clock that dictates the runners and when they run and when they can run, still letting them go out and using their instinct, finding something off a pitcher that they can get a good jump. I think that we done got away from that.
So, too many numbers, so much video. And I know you were fast. You could steal a bag off anyone, anytime, any day of the week. How much of it was instincts? How much of it was just, I'm better than you? What was the process for you?
I think a lot of it's instinct, is learning something about a pitcher. You know, being fast, you're going to have to be a little fast for us to being able to run. But I think if you go out and you work at it and you practice it on getting your jumps, finding something on a pitcher that you can get a good jump and take your chances. I think the game have got away from the base based on because of the clock, based on because I don't think the players really work on it. You know, when I was in the minor leagues and coming up through the big league, you know, I used to think I was going out for us to take an extra batting practice, and they was getting me out there to work on the base stealing, my base running. So I think that's what helped me a lot about being able to practice it each and every day, practicing about what you want to do on the base pad.
And how much of it was mental or believing? Because we all, as fans, certainly knew you were faster or better than anyone else in the game. How much of that was a confidence aspect?
It was always confident to me. It was always a confidence, always a challenge between me and the catcher. I always say that, you know, and it's between me and the catcher. If I get a jump on the pitcher, I'm going to beat the catcher. But if I don't get a jump, then the catcher got a chance for us to throw me out. So it was always that contest about me and the pitcher, me and the catcher. Sometimes I go up the plate and, you know, I'm in a little slump or something, and I tell the catchers, you know, give me a pitch to hit. You know, maybe I make it out and I get on base, and I won't run if I get on base. And then, but if you walk me, then I'm going to run on you. I'm going to take one or two of you at that time. So it was a lot of confidence. It was just a lot of believing, you know, when you get out there, what was your job? See, I think nowadays the lineup really don't dictate what your job is all about. And see, when we was coming up, you know, a leadoff guy was based on trying to get on the base pad. The second guy was trying to bunt him over. And then your third and fourth, fifth guy was the one of the guys that hit it and power guy. So we had a certain thing we had to do in the game. Now, I think from 1 to 9, everybody's trying to do the same thing, maybe try to hit a home run or do a certain thing like that.
When you told the catcher if you got that pitch to hit and you got on base, you wouldn't steal off of him unless it was a walk, did you honor your word?
I honor my word when I got a hit, when I tell him. I remember Rick Dempsey, we were playing against Baltimore, and, you know, I was running well, but, you know, Rick Dempsey always stole a lot of bases on him. And then I said, Rick, I don't feel good today. So, you know, just tell the pitcher to give me a pitch to hit, and, you know, I'll stay at first base. But if you don't give me a pitch to hit, I'm going to run on you every time you get on base. He said, hold on, don't do that. So he called timeout, went out to the bow, told the pitcher, throw him a pitch right down the middle of the plate. The pitcher ended up walking me, and he was so pissed off, he said, I'm going to hit the pitcher. I'm not going to even try to throw you, I'm going to try to hit this pitcher on him. He threw it at his ankle, almost hit him too. So it was something like that about the game that we enjoyed playing, and we enjoyed the challenge about the game and having fun doing it.
One of the great things to me about your career is all the home runs. I mean, you know, here's a guy that ripped off 1,406 bags, and you still nearly had 300 home runs. So what was the better feeling, stealing a bag or two or hitting a homer?
I always say stealing a bag or two was my favorite for us in the game. I started hitting a few home runs when I learned how to hit a home run. Willie Horton taught me how to get the backspin of the ball and hit a home run. And then, you know, you're around the league. You always hear it around the league. Don't put him on. Don't give him a walk. Give him a pitch to hit, to drive the ball. And so they was trying to get ahead of me, and I could maybe getting that first fastball right down the middle of the plate and then putting a good swing on it.
I want to ask you about a favorite teammate or two. And you have at least one former teammate here in Rex Hudler, our partner. Mm-hmm. Let me start with that. What was Rex like, and what nickname did you have for him?
Oh, I don't Reddy or something like that. I had a nickname for him, but you know, he was a fun guy. He was always a joker, so he always, you know, went out there and seemed like he had a lot of fun, you know. And that's what I always try to look out of players, you know, instead of coming out here and concentrating and focus so much on the game, how much you gonna have fun out there playing the game and enjoy the game. So he's one of them guys that keep you on the toe, make you laugh a lot, and you have a lot of fun doing it.
So you called him Ready for the hair.
Ready for the hair.
I like. We call him Hud, but I like the Red. That's pretty good. Did you have a favorite teammate along the way?
I had a lot of great teammates. You know, Don Madden was, I probably said my favorite. Dave Stewart was a childhood, grew up guy. We was real tight. You know, me and Dave Winfield, we grew great respect for one another, and he taught me the mental part of the game and taught me a lot about the asset of the game and playing the game the hard way. So, you know, I had guys surrounding me that, you know, enjoy the game, and we went about it the right way.
What about the two Hendersons, the late Dave Henderson, who was such a presence here and around baseball? How did you guys, did you fight over that nickname of Hendu?
Yeah, we followed the nickname Hindu all the time. Because every time they go Hindu, both of us look around. So one day we decided to say, okay, man, we both reacting to the Hindu, and we don't know which one they want to talk to right now. So today, we're going to make a bet. And he said, well, what's the bet? And then I said, you know, you make up something. And he said, okay, the guy that hit the home run the first would be the Hindu. And I goes, no, why the guy that steal the base can be Hindu? Because that was my field, and his field was trying to hit home run. Then I decided, okay, no problem, we'll go for that. You know, I'll go for it. If you win it, you got the name Hindu, and I'll be just Henderson. And then I came up to the plate to lead off the game. And he ended up the second pitcher hit out a home run. He said, no, you didn't give me a chance, so I'm still Hindu. So he never lived it down.
You won the bet.
I won the bet, but he never.
Still got the name.
No, he still wanted the name. So I said, that's all. He said, no, but I didn't get a chance.
Were you swinging for the fence at that point then for the nickname? Were you trying
I was trying to hit the home run. I wanted to hit the home run, but when I go to the plate, I really never look to try to hit a home run. Every time I look to try to get a home run, I pop up the ball. So mainly I was trying to hit the ball hard and get a good swing. So he grew a pitch right there, and I just got a good contact on it and hit it out of the ballpark.
Did I hear, growing up as a kid here in the area, that something like you had a guidance counselor that gave you a quarter for every stolen base or something like that?
She the one that got me into baseball, really, because I was an All-American football player, and it was a tournament, Easter tournament, and they didn't have enough players. So she called and wanted me to play, and I didn't want to play. So she ended up saying, you know, I give you a quarter for, you know, stolen base, get a quarter for hit, and get a quarter for the run score. So I said, oh, man, and then I don't have to go out and work. I can make some lunch money, take my young lady out for lunch on playing baseball. So she ended up giving me quarters to play, and I think that's got me more into being able to run the bases like I'm capable of doing.
And then what about your mom's influence on baseball and growing up here?
She was a real big baseball fan. You know, she loved me playing football, and she took me to every event that I had, baseball, football, but she really enjoyed the game of baseball. And then when I was coming out of high school, I had like 20-something scholarship to go play football, and I was All-American football player, and that's what I thought my love was all about. And then when the decision came, and she made the decision, and she said, I want you to play baseball, I went in my room and cried for a day, because I didn't really want to be a baseball player. I wanted to be a football player. But she made the right decision.
I think it worked out.
Blessed. Yeah, it's worked out well.
How'd you end up with 24? Because I know you didn't start with 24.
I ended up with 24 when I got traded over to New York. I went over to the Yankees, and I was weighing 35. And Phil Negro had 35, and he was a veteran, so I could take 35. So I said, give me 24 of Willie Mays, so I did end up taking 24.
No, 24 is what everybody thinks of you. How did you end up being the hit right, throw left? Because there are a few of them every now and then in the game, but, I mean, obviously you're the most famous, but anytime it comes up now, you say, hey, he's hitting and throwing like Rickey Henderson. How did that come about?
I think as a kid, playing Little League ball, I think all the kids was batting on the right side. I was left-handed. So I got on the right side, and I started hitting the right hand, and never learned how to hit left-handed. And then when I got an 8-ball, you know, I was left-handed. They wanted me to be a switch hitter, and I tried to switch hit, and I couldn't hit on the left side, so I stayed with the right side.
All right, last thing, of all of the crazy, preposterous stories about you out there, which I've always read, a lot of them aren't true. Some of them might be true. Some of them maybe people just make up. I don't know. First off, what percentage would you guess? How many of them are false?
I can say a handful of them is false. A lot of them is true. You know, some of the things that I went about. I think the main one that was so far was the John Olderick case. And I played against him when I was with the A's in Toronto. Knew all about him. And then ended up playing in Toronto. And then went to the Mets. And everybody thought that, you know, I never know why he wanted to help me. So they made a joke out of it, and they ran the story for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden I said, John, man, come on, let's get together and tell these people that I knew exactly what you wanted to help me for. And then we told them the story. They still ran with it the other way.
It was too good.
It was too good.
The Rickey got tenure, was that true on the bus?
10 years on the bus.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn did. And I was coming on the bus as I was tired game and this and that. And then when they threw it at me, I didn't know really what they was talking about. And then I ended up saying I had more than 10 years.
So that was true.
Yes.
Some were true, some weren't. We know this much, the numbers are all true. Hall of Fame numbers, 1,406 stolen bases, the greatest of all time. And that moment where you pulled the bag out of the ground, too. One of the great iconic moments in baseball.
Yeah, as well. It was something that, you know, I was probably wanted to do because, you know, me and Luke Brock became real close. We had the same major, and I wanted to achieve what he wanted to achieve, so I went out and he taught me a lot about the base running. And he told me, I think, he was doing some broadcasts in Boston, and I went out, I think I threw 4 bases, and he came in the clubhouse, and he said, you the one going to be able to break my record. And that stuck with me, and each and every year I put that in my mind that I want to achieve something that he had achieved.
Greatest base stealer of all time, and the Hall of Famer, Rickey Henderson. Thank you so much for doing it. We appreciate it, and great to hear all